I'm pretty excited today because Mike Reed is here to show us how to make the perfect pork belly with crackling.
With crackling.
I love this. Now, there's a few little steps, but it's actually quite easy to put together.
It's really easy. Like, it doesn't... The total prep time for this dish is probably half an hour, 40 minutes max, but it takes a few stages.
Yeah, I love it. Let's get started.
Okay, so I'm going to get you to start with the marinade first. You need to mix some miso with some brown sugar, some soy sauce, and then some ginger, garlic, and chili.
Okay.
I'm just going to score the fat. It helps for the drying out of the pork if you score it, because the more air can get into it.
Right. When it comes to crackling, moisture is the enemy, right?
100%.
Yeah. So doing anything you can to dry it out as long as possible.
That's it. The longer you can give it, the better.
And this right here, such an intense smell of the sugar, the saltiness from that miso. Yummo.
Brown sugar and miso are a match made in heaven, especially on a meat like this, because obviously all the brown meat sits on the bottom for the pork. So that's where this marinade is going to sit. So it just intensifies and softens that meat. It makes it all really gelatinous and delicious.
Oh, did you say the word gelatinous? I think that's my favourite word. So just 2 spring onions?
Yeah, 2 spring onions is perfect.
Okay. And we're just finely chopping all of this together. Okay. I can see this as one of those dishes when I have a big group of people coming over. I don't want to be in the kitchen all day, or when my guests arrive, I just want it all done, and this is
100%.
a great dish for it.
Like, I used to make the mistake when I was younger of, like, when I had people over the house, spending all my time in the kitchen, cooking rather than hosting and entertaining. Now, like, something like this, quick and easy, it's in the oven when they get there for drinks, and it's job done. Very little maintenance.
Love that. Spring onions into the bowl. I'll bring that bowl over for you.
Thank you. Some chilli and some garlic.
Okay. Beautiful flavours. And ginger, just mince that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm just going to give that a mix.
A bit more.
Perfect.
Scoop that in. Done.
Thank you. Give that a final mix.
It's not a lot of marinade because it is so intense.
Like, especially if you want to achieve a crispy crackling, you need the marinade basically just to sit on the bottom.
Okay.
Like, if you completely cover it, you'll never achieve your crackle.
All right.
You know, which for me is the best part of a pork belly.
Oh, it is indeed. So for marinating, you're going to flip it over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn that out. Put that on the base. Smells just beautiful.
So good. Yeah. And so this beautiful marinade is really going to penetrate this flesh side and not the skin side. Again, our focus is not touching that skin.
Yeah. So we're just tucking it in, and then we're going to leave it to marinate overnight.
Okay.
So just if you can just swap this one over.
Sure can.
Thank you.
There we go.
Okay, so now I'm going to lift it, just seeing if you can just scrape it all off.
Yep.
And then we're going to reserve that sauce for later.
Look at that. That looks so appetising already.
And you just think, like, all of that is penetrating the meat. So you get all of that ginger, that garlic, the spring onions, the flavour, which will be, like, just deep in there. It's gorgeous.
Done.
Beautiful. So that can now go straight in the fridge, and we can dry out the crackling again overnight.
Okay, crackling. We need it to be dry, and don't cover it, right?
Don't cover it. Air. It needs air.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I'm getting excited now.
Yeah.
We've got beautiful dry skin. It's been marinating.
When it comes out of the fridge, you can feel how dry it is. That's the key to making the best perfect crackling.
Yep.
So I'm just going to get it straight into a hot pan now.
Okay.
I'm going to seal it off. You hear how hot that is? Nice intense heat. Then just going to create a little parcel of foil. While I'm creating this, can you just crush me down some salt?
Can do.
Like, if you want the best crackling,
Yes.
you've got to put the work in. Okay? So we're going to do another step of the salt on top of the crackle now. Yeah. And then as it's cooking, that salt will pull out the extra moisture.
See, I do some of these steps for my crackling, and it is good, but I can only imagine how amazing this crackling is going to be because we have gone the extra effort.
Like, I never used to bother as much with my crackling, but then I actually married my wife. who is obsessed to crackling. So I had to get it right, otherwise she was going to kick me out.
And now you've got it spot on.
Now we've nailed it. So we're just putting that marinade that we saved from earlier into the bottom.
Okay.
So all those flavours will go back into the pork again when we cook it.
This is actually a really good idea because it's sometimes so hard to really keep it in that one spot that you need, which is pretty much all of the flesh.
100%. So you see that colour there?
Yes.
Beautiful. Perfect. Done.
In it goes.
In it goes. Just bring it in so it's nice and tight. And then we go to salt straight on top.
Okay. So we're going to completely cover that.
So it's salt on top.
Okay.
And then we're going to pop that into the oven for 3 hours at 160 degrees. And then we're going to knock off the excess salt afterwards and just finish it under the grill to achieve that real crackle.
Ah, and that's when we see the true results of amazing crackling. All right, let's get this baby in the oven.
Let's do it.
And this is why it's worth the wait. Have a look at this blistering beauty. Just gorgeous.
This is the real test.
Ah, music to our ears. Love it. And that little basket that you created with the foil has done its job.
You see, it keeps everything in, keeps it moist, makes it go all sticky and juicy on the bottom.
I think that's what we all crave so much with pork belly. You want soft, tender, meltingly tender flesh and crispy crackling. If you don't have both of those,
it's not the same. It's not the same. You need that crunch and crack. And that's why I chose a serrated knife, because you can see how crispy that really has got.
And you can actually notice by doing all of those steps, the skin is almost glass-like. The fat has completely rendered off.
It's sticky, it's gelatinous, you've got the crispiness, you've got the layers of flavour and texture.
And if you know you want to do this recipe, just give yourself some time. Have a happy cook doing it, and then all it is just plating up.
That's it. Do you like some crackle?
Oh, thank you, Chef.
Juicy, delicious, so much flavour. How good is it, eh? Some fresh coriander and done.
Oh, that is a real standout dish. I think it's going to be pretty popular this year on Everyday Gourmet. It is everything we want in a beautiful piece of pork. Mike, thank you so much.
Welcome.